Hi, everybody. This story is sponsored by a contribution from Deb, and here's what she has to say. Hi, Ollie. I didn't want to bother you, especially since you weren't feeling well. Plus, you had mentioned you were behind and had other videos to make, etc. All caught up now. So I was watching your video that it's not guilt but fear, and overall, I could see what you're saying. However, for me, I feel I have been alone all my life, taking care of everyone else's problems and needs. I have no fear of being alone. I have no need. I have no need to have a man in my life. If one arrives, great, but I'm not holding my breath. My fear is connecting with someone else new. Oh, right. But it's still a fear that's driving you to do this. That's what I think you're saying here. My situation is this. My ex is the only person that really knew me. He's the only person I ever opened up to and let in all the way. For me, it was such a comfort, even though I know now it was all fake, and I still felt so safe and protected, however briefly. I feel he branded my soul. I was friends with my ex's mom. Until I left the time before this time, oh wait, I was friends with my mom's ex until the time I left before this time. My conversation I had with her went like this. Her telling me I sounded so happy. I told her yes, that I feel like I got my get out of jail free card. She said, well, he just needs to find the right woman. I said, no, he just needs to find a woman and treat her right. She said, well, tough to be, he needs someone tough to be with. I recall thinking 9 years at that time, and all she thought wasn't right. I wasn't tough enough for him. So I ended the call, and that was the last time I spoke to her, mainly because I was so butthurt. She was the one that suggested I hide the baseball bat, which I did. She told me if he says the sky is green, and even though it's blue, just agree with him. She told she told all men cheat, and I told her no, not at all. My father, as an example, never cheated once on my mom. She told me he probably did. He probably did. I just did not know about it. Yet I know my father in this regard. Regardless, I haven't spoken to her in 16 months. I know he will want me back. He bought me a retirement house in the mountains in my state for us. Though logically any gal will do for him, and I can get my own house to retire in when the time comes. Still, it was my dream, and now I have to let it go. I asked my therapist if it would be better just to get my root cause. I was told that my past history of abuse colored how I looked at things, but basically, I felt it meant it would be a waste of time. My therapist is fairly good and knowledgeable on NP and abuse. It seems we are focusing on changing my thought process on how I feel about myself, as my self-esteem is fairly low at this point in time. I must mention in 1993, I spent 6 grueling years going to therapy for my history of sexual abuse and was able to live a more relaxed, normal life. I then met my ex and my world changed. I have met a few people with a hint of being like my ex and cut them off and don't even think twice about it. I have no regret or fear in doing this. Yet, my ex, I struggle every day. I know it's not healthy, and I try to focus on other things and have responsibilities. I'm healthier, less stressed, and a bit more relaxed. I will always worry. I worry I will always love him and stay frozen in time, never giving anyone a chance to get close to me. I value your opinion and any advice you offer. I'd be grateful for. All right. You know, it sounds to me like, look, you still have feelings for him. But look what he did to his own mother. His own mother told you to hide a baseball bat, accept his cheating. You just got to be tougher with him. Like, she don't want to deal with him either. That's who he is. He's a bully. And you got to accept the good times with him were all an act and none of them were real. Though you may be in love with those good times you have and be in love with the person you thought he was in those good times, it wasn't real. And that's what you got to keep telling yourself. Every time you feel like you're thinking about him and you're in love, you got to remember that person you're thinking about doesn't exist because there's a reason why you're not with them anymore. And your therapist is right with your checkered history of, your past sexual abuses. You're not going to have clear thinking on this. You're just not. But something in your subconscious is keeping you away and telling you staying away is the right thing. And that you're okay in your loneliness. I'm not even going to call it alone, that you're okay being alone. But you're really not, because you're still thinking about him. You still want that companionship. You just don't need it from him. Look, you need to find somebody who acts the way your narcissist acts at all times, not part of a narcissistic game. And I know it sucks, and I know it's hard that you have to constantly keep this in mind and play this game in your own head and sizing people up, but that's just the way we gotta live. And it's not fair, but that's what it is at this point. That's our reality. I mean, that's the gift that we get from all this. It's not really a gift, obviously. Things change, plans change. Look, you could always buy a retirement house on your own or a retirement spot on your own in the mountains. You don't need him. Make your own future. And I understand that's tough, especially when you have deep feelings for somebody you spent so many years with. But remember, that person you're missing is that narcissist you're missed. At times you miss the narcissist. You're just missing their fake self. That's not who you loved. You loved their act. You didn't love the real them. So your goal is to find somebody who acts like the narcissist acted in good times all the time. Easier said than done, but I think that's all you can really do. And keep reminding yourself of who your abuser, who this guy really is, who his mother says he is, and how dangerous he is that he can get his mother to make excuses for him at this age. Probably another entitled son husband that got out of control. Turned on the master. That's the best you can do, I think. Understand, your need for companionship with this guy at times is based on his act. And you got to realize it was all part of the manipulation. And you need to find someone else and use that and say, it's not him. I don't love him. I know how I want to be treated, and that's how. And he can't do that. Because when he does, it's not real. Do you want somebody who's just going through the motions, waiting for the other shoe to drop? Or do you want somebody who's going to be like that genuinely? Rhetorical question. But thank you again for your support. Thank you for your contribution and your question. I really appreciate it. I hope it helps. Thank you, everybody watching. Please leave any advice in the comments section below. And again, if you have a story you want read on the channel, a topic you want me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you know what to do with the PayPal link in the description box. I will have the video right back to you. Zolly Matthews, thanks for watching. See you all again soon.